Woo! It's time. Ooh, we're peaking the levels. Easy does it, Hobbit. Blowing the sound out. Welcome, everybody. It's Monday night, and it is time for Dungeons and Dragons. And when I say time with a capital T, because we've played once in a month, and I'm dying. I'm Wiley Hobbit, known as Scott to my regular friends, my boring, humdrum, non-RPG friends who don't know how to live. But here, I'm Wiley Hobbit. Welcome to our little hobbit hole, our little special place on the internet. So happy to be back here doing, hey, and that rhymes with pool and trouble, my friends, right here in River City, says Fellowship of the Tables. I know that musical all too well. That would be from The Music Man. Very nice. Hey, Queen Squid, good to see you. And Cubity, and I saw Doc Shoulder lurking in there, and of course, all of our players. Welcome. Okay, I'm rambling. Let's do stuff. Let's go around the table. We are going to be sans Ronvin tonight, so we're going to have to just take up the slack. I will do my level best to represent Ronvin well whilst DMing, which is almost like I don't know if any of you watch Top Chef or what's that design show that was, the competition with Heidi Klum, where, if you win a challenge, you get immunity for the next session. I kind of have a policy against absent players losing their characters, during the session they're missing. So Ronvin is on, immunity tonight from death. But the rest of them...
Imagine.
Can't say for sure. All right.
Comes up and DM kills you.
yeah, unless the party turns on the character. I can't do much about that, but... All right, so on that cheery note, Fix, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Hey, I play Fix in here. He's a changeling warlock. They don't know he's a changeling. No, he's a warlock, though. He's a bubbly little young whippersnapper.
Bubbly for now.
A lot of stuff going on he doesn't know about.
Yes, there is. And you're the newest member of our party, so there's probably 32 or so episodes of storyline that, Fix has not been a part of. So, but the rest of the party totally likes you. Totally. They have not sent me, private messages in Discord or anything about your character. So don't worry about it.
Not even Andrew?
Not even Andrew. Speaking of Andrew, let's transition over to, yes, you, Rue Shahar, the one and only. Hey, Ranger Harley.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables, and tonight I am playing your friendly neighborhood rogue, Rue Shahar, who kind of portrays himself as a merchant, but I think most people have kind of figured out that that's not the case, but seems to have a pretty mysterious past. Also a changeling, but of the people left in the party, only Ronvin knows that. Yeah. Had a rough night last night. Didn't sleep real great.
So many changelings.
Missing a few hit dice.
Oh, poor buddy. Didn't you get hit with a pan?
Got hit by a pan as well.
You had a muffin pan dropped on you.
Yes, that's what it was.
Okay, and then our other new character kind of hit the party, I think the same episode as Fix. Now, the player is a grizzled veteran of the game, but the character is new. So, Viz, a Vizzled veteran. How do you like that?
Vizzled, there we go.
Go ahead, Viz, tell us what's up, man.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Dave. Hey, Wilson on the internets. I am playing Viz. He's a fairy from the Feywild. You get him anywhere else? I don't know. They're infernal fairies? That would be... I don't think that the Hells could take a fairy. Anyway. And, he's a fighter and a rune knight. Dressed up in garish colors and standing in a massive towering 2 feet tall. But the secrets of the runes, he can end up standing an additional 12 feet tall. So you won't like him when he's mad. He never gets mad.
You use the words... Fairy of the Rune Knight together in a sentence, and it just excites me. Like, who ever thought of playing a Rune Knight fairy? I don't think anyone. I think this is the only fairy of the Rune Knight on the
Could
internet.
be.
I'm going to throw down the gauntlet and say that is a fact. Fact check me, people.
Canonize it.
Okay, it is Kanan. All right, so we've got a rowdy bunch in chat. Please keep doing that. Yeah, so, and again, we're going to be missing Ronvin tonight, so there is some sadness because we love when Vivacious here, but alas, tonight we will struggle on without her. So last time we played, gosh, was, DM advantage. That's going to come in really handy tonight. Thank you. I mean, thanks for the DM advantage. Okay, so last time we played was 2 weeks ago, and the party had just exited the tunnels with the corpse of the person. Queen Squid. Yeah, another DM advantage. Nice. Preston, you've got really cool friends, brother.
Yeah, man.
He's like, really? Really? Oh, boy. So, at any rate, they had some trouble in the tunnels below Dagger Falls. There was a group of ne'er-do-wells lurking down there, consisting of a couple of maybe 4 to 6 hobgoblins, one of which was some sort of a kind of a baddie bad spellcaster. A couple of these really large, nasty, trollish, regenerative sort of things. The party managed to survive that, although Fix hit the floor. And I think Rue got shredded pretty good, but they got out of there. But unfortunately, the person they had gone down there to find, they found her, but she was struck by lightning, mysteriously enough, underground. And she passed. But the entire last episode was consumed with the party's return to Dagger Falls, the successful raising of Larissa Heatherfell, and the planning and plotting and commiserating with Zal, the constable of Dagger Falls. And the decision was made to for the company of the Iron Phoenix to return to the tunnels beneath the town at the request of Constable Zal, to have a very close look to see if they could find the point of entry, because to the best of the knowledge of the constable and the constabulary and the history of the town, there are no exterior entries into that tunnel system that would have given access or granted access. One tunnel goes up under the Lord's Keep, which is heavily guarded at the surface. One tunnel goes up beneath the Temple of Lathander, also heavily guarded at the surface. One tunnel dead ends into a chamber, which is where all the shenanigans were taking place, and so forth, the battle and combat. And then there's a natural cavern that's linked by a tunnel. So the party has accepted the request of Constable Zal, and for the nice price of $100 for the group. $100. How about 100 gold pieces for the group to search these tunnels and just make sure everything is right. He did offer to double that should the party encounter any issues, combat creatures if they're put upon in any such way. So with that being said, I think we should play D&D and get on with this. I am hankering for some D&D because it has been too little over too much time. Mm-hmm. Sort of like not enough butter spread across too much toast. Yes.
Not good.
All right. So, the party finds themselves hearing the clang of the iron gates. And you can see on the other side of the iron gates as the four of you stand there in the dim light, torches flickering on the Dagger Falls side. You see Kessla, the owner and proprietor of the Red Rock Tavern, locking the chains with the locks that hold those gates closed, and then she slams the big oaken door, and you hear deadbolts sliding across, and the chains as they seal you into the tunnels. I don't recall. I want to say they gave you like 4 hours. Let's arbitrarily say that I think they were going to give you some time and then send in the reinforcements, sort of like last time, just in case. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but just in case any issues arise. And so you find yourselves, and I'm not sure, I would assume Ronvin maybe has cast a bit of light upon, Penny Swoops has begun to glow upon Ronvin's shoulder, the little metallic clockwork sparrow that flits and flutters and occasionally lifts up and flies.
Cool. I need to.
And just for drama and excitement, Rue, didn't you tell me before the game that you actually haven't had the benefit of a long rest thanks to your dalliance downstairs and Din's baked goods, talking with Din and sleeping on the floor and being hit with muffin pans?
I had a dalliance with my sister.
Well, a dalliance in the most cleanest and familial sense.
Yeah. I slept on my sister's bakery floor, and so I did not get a long rest. So used a bunch of hit dice and at full health, but with very little recharge.
Well, I mean, you've been through all of these tunnels, and it's just under Dagger Falls. I mean, you're probably not going to need to worry about hit points or hit dice or hitting anything for that matter.
Nothing bad happened last time. So.
Yeah, I mean, totally cool. So, Ronvin looks at the party. So, shall we go? And Penny Swoops kind of flutters. And again, it's the light cantrip. And so, what is it, 20 feet bright, 20 feet dim, I believe? Emanating as the 20 feet.
That's great.
Bright, 20 feet dim. So, any particular marching order that you'd like to establish? Since you're in those, again, very nicely cut, square, plumb, 10 by 10 tunnels.
Joel will like me to scout ahead.
Yeah, that would be fun. Fix is going to be like towards the middle, I think.
Okay.
Not hold up the back, not hold up the front, just kind of in there. And then Viz would probably be in front of Fix with Ronvin behind
Okay.
me, I'm assuming.
I think Viz had to jump away for just a minute. Mm-hmm. So we will go with that. So I have Rue, and then I have Viz right there with Fix, and then I have Ronvin bringing up the rear.
I have a question real quick, Scott. The scroll I have of Magic Circle, I don't need the components for this because I have the scroll, right?
Correct.
Cool, thank you.
Hey, sorry.
Welcome back.
I have 120 foot dark vision, so Viz can do scouting.
120 feet?
If needed.
So Rue will be sneaking up front, and then you'll be there, and then I'll be in the middle, and then Ron behind me.
Yeah, squish formation.
Squish formation.
Alright, so I'm gonna pull out the dark vision salve that I have and rub that under my eyes.
Nice. Picturing like
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction. Sorry.
Copyright strike.
I only did like a few seconds of it, so we're good.
Yeah, it's not enough.
It would
Plus,
have to be recognized.
I was just going to say, not really recognizable either, so. Okay. So, Rue, you apply the salve that Ronvin so graciously purchased back in the ruins of the Grindelroot in Deep Delver's Enclave. And you now have, as if you had dark vision cast upon you, what is it, 8 hours, I believe, is the duration?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you can easily, down the tunnel, make out what seems to be the never-ending, square 10 by 10 stone tunnel, and it's actually not never-ending. After 30 feet, it turns to your right. You start off by heading due south, and then it turns due east. Goes about 40 feet, and then angles to the southwest for about 40, 50 feet, and then straightens back around and goes due west for about 80 feet. And so it goes. If you recall, it was sort of a zigzag, but generally working its way southwesterly. In a general, if you had to draw an arrow from kind of where you start to where you're going to end up at that intersection, it's a kind of a very southwesterly track, albeit many hundreds of feet of turns and oblique and turn and so forth. Ronvin will, once you get away from the portcullis, Ronvin will send penny swoops behind the party about 20, 30 feet so that Ronvin has dim light from behind her, but won't really foul whatever Viz and Rue are trying to do with dark vision, looking forward.
Well, I'm going to pull my cloak around me and try to be stealthy as I go.
Would you please roll a d20 and add all of your modifiers under the stealth skill for me? How far out from the party are you going? I just need to know, mostly to see whether or not they'll hear the screams. I mean,
that looks like a 1 right there. That's a 1 face.
That would be a natural 1.
Okay. What's your
11.
11? Okay. The nice thing about skill checks in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, for those who don't pay that a close attention to the rules, is there are no crits, whether it be a fail or a success. It's simply a 1 plus your modifier. So with a net 11, Viz, you hear Rue about 15 feet up, and you see him very plainly with your dark vision. I don't know if he's like looking down at something or whatever, but he kind of scuffs against the wall, and you just hear the little scrape of his leather armor and maybe the hilt of his rapier as it scuffs the wall, and then you see him move away from the wall and like shake his head at himself. Not his finest. I mean, you've seen Rue like vaporize into the darkness, and this unfortunately was not that.
So what Viz will do is I just rolled a 17 plus 8 is 25 for my stealth, so I'm going to come up silently behind Rue and say, it's done a lot more quietly than that, and then zip off and around and just flutter around in the vicinity.
Okay, let's do this. D20 there, Fellowship of the Tables guy, and I'm going to have you roll on the survival perception table, the perception score skill.
I got a 16.
Okay, so at first you're kind of like, oh, a little, but it doesn't really like scare you, like, it wasn't a jump scare, but you're kind of like, really. And so it goes. It's quiet down here. There is just the slightest feel of air movement, like you noticed before, like it's ventilated here. But you've seen the end of, there's a door and a portcullis behind you. You know there's a door and a portcullis beneath the Temple to Lathander. You know, or assume, I should say, that there's probably a door and a portcullis beneath the Lord's Keep, and so it's no surprise that you do feel a bit of air movement down here, and the air is not as stale as one might think. And so after a bit of time, which isn't a long time at all, maybe 5-10 minutes in the dark, you make your way to an intersection where this tunnel continues straight ahead. The tunnel goes left and right across it. You know that if you make a left, you can see signs of the carnage of battle, and blood that maybe has dripped off some weapons and things on the across the intersection side of the tunnel. You know this is the intersection where if you took a left, you'd go down to the chamber beneath the Temple of Lathander and the side tunnel that leads to a cavern. And you know that the tunnel to the right leads to the chamber beneath the Lord's Keep, where Lord Cormeril, the seat of government in Dagger Falls. You going to wait for the party to catch up?
Yep.
Okay. Strangely enough, the party catches up. Doesn't take long. You're only, what did you say, about 20, 30 feet out, Rue?
I'm behind Viz now because he went out ahead.
I think Viz zipped back, or did you zip forward?
I'm just around.
Around.
So
Okay.
I'm around room.
Okay.
Oh,
So you're like annoying is what you're doing.
Precisely.
Bingo.
On the head.
Shazam. Feywild. Okay, so Rue and Viz arrive at the intersection, and you hear the very soft footfalls. Fix, I'm assuming you wear what, like low leather boots or high leather boots or some
Like
sort
kind of
of
like mid-height leather boots.
mid-height leather boots. Yeah, okay.
Kind of pointy, just slightly.
Yep. Like merchant boots.
Yeah,
Whatever-
like merchant.
Whatever
I'm a
those
merchant
are.
too.
Ox toe.
Whatever those are.
Totally
Yeah, so, and you hear the occasional squeak and metallic flap of little metallic wings as the light grows a little brighter and then darker, as Penny Swoops is clearly living up to her namesake, yes, swooping and turning behind Ronvin as the party arrives and Swoops lands on Ronvin's shoulder and extinguishes. Well, here we are. Which way?
What were the directions again? One was toward the Lord's Keep. The other
North,
one,
south, east, and west.
We came from.
Oh, right. So north goes toward the Lord's Keep, south goes towards the Temple of Lathander. Straight ahead, which is west, goes into that chamber. If you recall, you had found a secret door, and in there you found hobgoblins and those big trollish guys, and then some came in from behind you, and the spellcaster showed up, and there was this pit and treasure. Yeah, that place.
Yeah. Do we know which area had the unexplored cavern in it?
Oh, yeah, there's a side tunnel off of the south tunnel that is purported by Zal, the constable there, and Kessler, that would lead to that natural cavern.
Okay. So, do we want to check where we were? See if they come back and take over again, or the south?
We should go check that cave tunnel thing. Because we can assume that nothing comes from the Lord's Keep, or I mean, they say about assuming, but we haven't seen the cave thing yet, the natural cavern. That might be a good idea.
All right, south we go.
On the road again.
Okay, so are we going to stretch the party out again with Rue or Viz going, taking point ahead, or are we going to stay together this time?
I think we'll squish formation, stay together. Yeah.
Okay.
Squish.
So in that regard, I have Rue, Viz, Fix, Ronvin. Ronvin leaves Penny Swoops extinguished. Fix, you have dark vision, do you not?
No. If Penny
that's
Swoops is
right.
out, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna light up something.
Okay.
Probably just like a button on my vest.
Yeah, she'll relight Penny Swoops and send her
Okay.
backwards so that it isn't super bright around the party,
Thank you.
but
I
enough
can
to
see.
navigate by. Of course, dearie. And Penny Swoops kind of, and then before Swoops can get far away, Ronvin calls it back. Back here, sweetie. Back here. Wait. And then she pulls out this little it's like just a little bodily thing with us, kind of a spout on it, and she pulls a cap off and she starts dabbing and pinching the spout in various places and then you see Penny Swoops kind of stretching legs out and flapping her little wings, and then the squeaking goes away.
Oh.
Okay then. And and off goes the little clockwork sparrow, lighting the way behind you. All right,
Awesome.
let's go.
Start going.
All right, so Rue, you're leading the party southward, yes?
Yep.
10, 20, 30, at about 30 feet, a tunnel angles from the right. It goes to the southwest for about 10 feet and then straightens due west.
Is there any sign of any activity around?
Gosh, go ahead and roll either perception or investigation, depending on, like, describe for me how you're trying to determine whether or not there are signs of activity. Like, what are you looking for? What are you doing?
Just examining like the walls and the floor to see if there's any scuff marks or brush marks against the wall, anything like that.
Okay, yeah. That sounds good. So roll, this sounds to me like investigation. Really looking around with intent and purpose. So let's roll investigation.
That makes it a 19.
19. Okay, so you're looking around, and the side tunnel appears to be crafted of the same masonry, the same stonework as the rest of this small underground complex. 10 feet wide, 10 feet high. Very nicely constructed. As you look around, you do see a couple of what could be maybe metallic scrapes or scuffs on either side of the wall. There's no real dust, so there's no footprints. I think the airflow piece is keeping this from becoming some dusty, dank situation. But you do look to, it looks like maybe something metallic has scuffed along the walls. And I would say that the scuffs are at various heights, but no lower than probably 3.5 feet from the floor. And it's not a lot, but a couple on each side.
And is this side tunnel like narrower than the main one?
It is not.
I'll point out the scuff marks to the rest of the party. What do y'all think?
Not really sure what to think. Maybe when the bad guys were going in here, they like bumped into the wall because they're rowdy.
Bad guys are known for being rowdy, yes.
Very.
Well, guess we may as well check it out.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So
you're down the side tunnel.
Okay.
How long have we been down here? How long has it taken to do this much?
I would say you've only been down there like 15 minutes tops. You've gone several hundred feet in. If a mile is 52.80, probably at average walking speed would take you probably about 18 minutes, 16 minutes if you're trying to be reasonably observant to go a mile.
Sure.
And so a quarter of that would be 4 minutes. So if that, 1,000 feet, probably not quite. It's not too long at all.
That was very precise.
That was a lot, wasn't it? I do believe.
I'm not ready for that.
I do believe that the coffee in this here almost brand new Buffalo Bills mug it's doing what it's intended to.
Well, good. That was a lot.
That was a lot. So you begin to make your way westward into the darkness of the tunnel. You don't, since I don't want to take away your agency there, Rue. Are you continuing to investigate, or are we just blundering on down into the darkness?
Probably not investigating. Definitely keeping my eyes peeled. And ears peeled for any activity ahead.
Yeah,
Fair
Fix
enough.
would be looking out for weird stuff too.
Weird stuff, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
like more scratches on the walls. or
What could be
something.
weirder than waking up in a field and then meeting a bunch of people with a ferry? So I'm not sure how you define weird, but you don't see anything weird, Fix.
On
At
brand
least
things.
not relative to that. Roll me perception, Rue, and Fix. And Viz, what the hell? And Ronvin. Okay, she's asleep.
26.
26. I rolled a nat 20, but it's a 21. There goes my good roll tonight.
6.
Oh.
Viz is like cleaning his nails and
Pretty much.
walking around going bzz, 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 bzz. Yeah, so Rue with your barely decent 26. Yeah, that's pretty good. You notice going this direction, there's not the movement of air that you had felt in some of the other tunnels. But it's a subtle thing. And you venture forward, 10, 20, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 400, 471, 512 feet down
On the
this tunnel.
Like specifically?
And you see ahead of you maybe 48 feet or so away as it fades into the grays and the dimness of your dark vision granted by your salve. The opening to what looks to be some sort of a opening chamber. It's darker than dark because that's where your dark vision range ends. Oh, and it starts to smell a little suspect. A little musty. Stinky. That's a good word.
Like dead things stinky or just mildewy?
I would say like acrid. Not so much like that charnel sort of smell you get with undead, that kind of smell. That rotted, fetid sort. No, it's more like musky, dank, acrid. But you do see the opening to a space at about the edge of your dark vision range.
So there's no change in the tunnel. The tunnel just comes to a larger opening.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stealth and try to get up to it quietly.
Okay. Yeah, hit me with some stealth there, Chief.
24.
Ooh.
Nice. So Rue is there, and then Rue is not there. Viz, you are sort of, like Rue kind of stopped, and so everybody stopped, and you're kind of, with your 6 perception or 8 perception, whatever that was, you're kind of, fussing about with some of the buttons and bubbles on your vest maybe, and looking at the weird glow that Penny Swoops is creating behind the party, which makes it look like a gargantuan sort of thing. And then you're like, oh, that's just the shadows. And then all of a sudden you realize Rue is not there. Fix, you're just kind of standing there and you realize, wait a minute, Rue is gone.
Who can turn invisible?
With my 120-foot dark vision, do I see any further into that space?
Sure, roll perception for me, please. Since we're in a new stretch of tunnel and it's been, 512 feet or so.
That's a 3.
Yeah, it's hard to make out. You can tell vaguely there's a space down there because you do have 120 feet of dark vision. But it's hard to make out any detail.
Okay.
It looks like there's a opening, the tunnel that you're in opens into a space. All of the various tones of gray and black are sort of, mushing together. Rue, you're stealthily and silently quite impressed with yourself, I'm sure, approaching the opening to this space, and your 60 feet of dark vision enables you to see what looks to be some sort of a more naturally shaped space. It opens up, and you can see across. Looks like it's probably 40-ish feet to the back wall. How close to the opening are you going to come?
I guess close enough. As close as I feel like I can without being likely to be seen from inside.
Okay.
I assume there's no light coming from it, right?
No, there's no light in here. I will say that as you approach, the smell grows stronger. It's not intolerable. It's not making your eyes water, but it's pretty potent, and it smells kind of like ass and armpit, sweaty nether places on furry things that don't bathe. Yeah. Gnarly.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Smells like stinky.
Little rancidity, as one might find when one finds rotted meat or deceased something that used to not be deceased. Such things like that. Yeah, and you can kind of see again that the cavern is maybe 45 or so feet across. If you creep up to the opening, you can see it goes both left and right, and it is in fact a natural cavern. The ceiling maybe 20, 25, at its tallest. It's very irregular like the walls are. It looks like just an open cavern. And it's hard telling really what else there is to, you can see some darker things on the floor over to the right side. But again, it's hard to make it out in any great detail despite your dark vision.
Am I seeing the sides of the cavern to the left and right?
Yeah, the right side to the north goes about, 30-ish feet, give or take. The cavern appears to be about 40 to 50 feet from, across from your side to the other side. And again, it's very irregular, but at its widest point in the southwest end of the cavern, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40-ish. 42, and then the at its narrowest width, it's probably about 29 feet across as you stand and look, being a man of detail and so forth. But again, it's a cavern. It's very clearly a cavern and not a carved stoneworked chamber like the rest of this complex.
Can I tell if there's any other openings? Does it seem like a dead end?
You don't see any other openings.
I'm just gonna sit and watch for a minute and kind of glance back to see what the party's doing while I do that.
So you're sitting at the mouth of the tunnel, at the mouth of the cavern. Are you like down on your haunches with your palms of your hands flat on the floor, rocking back and forth, muttering to yourself?
No.
We hates it forever. Oh, sorry. I went to a dark place there.
Must be the Wednesday game.
Yeah. Okay. Party, what are you doing? Rue has vanished for some minute and a half, maybe now. And I mean, vanished like foof. Ronvin knows. She's like, oh, he's probably sneaking ahead. What do you see down there? She asks.
Not much. I can go in further.
Okay, so Viz, you're gonna, and I assume you are airborne?
I am airborne. Always airborne.
Okay.
Always.
Unless otherwise indicated. Okay, so you
Immune to
flutter.
earthquakes.
And we'll stealth in.
You flutter peacefully.
That's a natural 20.
How far? Okay, so you are, silent.
Yes.
How far are you fluttering?
Up to around the mouth of the cave. And if I come across Rue, so much the better.
Okay. Roll me perception, please.
Because that's going to go so well. That's an 11.
Oh, better.
Yeah, so you flutter up there. Hang on a second. I'm just doing a thing here.
Not a thing.
Just a thing. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about that.
That thing you do.
It's one of those things.
So I'm picturing Viz kind of fluttering very, along the ceiling, maybe along one wall, but obviously very careful not to touch anything. And again, Fix, now you're standing there with Ronvin and Viz is gone. And you see nothing. It's shadowy around the mouth of the cave. You do not see the silhouette of your companion, although you can see into the cavern. Again, as described above. Whoops! Somebody poofed. Who poofed?
Poof.
That's weird. Our cameras are all janky for some. Oh, I know. The dungeon master needs to close the chat window because it moved the Zoom windows. Let me just attend to that. Look at that. There we are. Oh, advantages for everyone. Thank you, Doc Shoulder. You are, in fact, a good friend of the group. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Or ma'am,
Yes.
whichever you are. Okay, so Viz, you do see inside, and again, the cavern described as before. You notice with your perception of, what was it, 11?
Yeah.
Some darker spots, which may be like piles of something upon the floor, more in the northern end to the right. And you too, your little nerve-ending clusters around your scent centers are rife with acrid burn and BO tang, sweat that's been left far too long between baths.
Viz will just mutter as he flitters along. Oh, that's nasty. This doesn't belong here.
Rue, perception, please. Nah, you're going to hear that. You hear Viz vocalizing right above you.
I'll just leave it be.
Okay. There's no need to perceive that. It's just still. So any little vocalization, you're going to hear that. Okay.
And there's no movement in the room, I take it?
There is no movement in the room. Viz, did you go into the room, or are you just kind of hovering there?
I'm hovering at the entrance, contemplating what is contemplatable.
Okay.
I am going to do something impulsive, as fairies are wont to do.
Oh, come on.
Pushing the limits of my dark vision, which is considerable. I don't really see anything. So I'm going to judge roughly where the middle of the room is. And if or within range is 60 feet. And I'm going to drop a fairy fire in a 20-foot cube in that area to light anything up that's in there with a violet flame.
Violet
is
your color choice. Okay.
And if there's anything in there, they got to make a dex saving throw of a DC of 14. Yeah. I hear nothing in that hand.
Okay. All 612 kobolds make their save.
Wow.
So this is, Rue and Viz. And Rue, you're probably kind of taken aback at this. You see this, and it's a sphere or a cube?
It's a sphere. So
okay,
each object
anything within the
cube.
sphere, yeah.
Oh, cube.
You see little piles of darkness, some larger, some smaller. You see the outline of some bones broken, full size, like leg bones, arm bones, rib bones, bones, skulls, humanoid-looking little skull. Just a few here and there. You see the remnants of a small fire ring. You see in the... Yeah, that's what you see. That is what you see, as a matter of fact.
All right. That was nice. Oh well. This will fit in.
Vix would probably be approaching the mouth of it at this time after seeing the of the fairy fire. Like, oh, it looks good to me.
I'm going to move in, but just try to stay stealthy, kind of moving around the outside of the cavern.
Okay.
Viz is moving straight in toward the fire pit.
Okay. Are either of you stealthing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You want me to roll again?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought I saw the movement toward die.
That is a 30. Natural 20.
Ooh, yes.
Viz, you hear
Absolutely
nothing. Yeah.
Ever again.
I actually got a decent score, but not that good. 24.
Okay, so both of you easily stealth your way into the room undetected by one another. Silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? I see what you've done there, hey Wilson.
Yes.
Yes, and so Rue, you're going to head right, and yes, it's an earworm that has been firmly planted. You're going to make your way around the perimeter, and as you get closer to the north end where you saw those sort of misshapen and odd piles, it looks like they could be like sleeping pallets or something, like straw, sticks, it's just piles of debris-ish looking that might be sort of something might sleep on. Oh, nice. Wow. That's, when you're playing D&D, that's kind of a standing between two mirrors question when you think about it. And I don't really care to contemplate it because it will hurt me.
Is this joke Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in the loop now. Okay.
Good deal. All right, nice. We got the young one. Okay. Viz, as you flutter, are you like coming down to the ground?
No, he'll flutter at about shoulder height for an average person, so about 4 feet, 5 feet off the ground, just flittering back and forth.
Okay, I want to read something. Okay, all right. Yeah. So it does. It looks like piles of something, some scattered bones that look like, probably humanoid or maybe even small humanoid, maybe a couple of animals here and there, no real order to it. And again, a small ring of fire, although there's no fire.
I know that one. Ring of Fire.
Nice. Yeah, that's what you see.
Too many peppers. Yeah, okay, that's good. Do I feel any heat coming off it? Like I'm going to close my eyes and use blind vision to just feel out around 10 feet around me and see if there's anything out there.
No heat.
No heat.
Reach down between my legs. Oh, wait, wrong song. Feel the heat coming out. Yeah, sorry. Little Van Halen there.
Yeah.
Okay, Rue, what are you doing over there on the kind of the north end of the room, skulking about?
Yeah, I think just continuing to make my way around the room, looking for again any sign of that somebody's been here recently or
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you like investigating?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Okay, let's do that.
$18.
18.
Ooh.
I'm going to have you re-roll stealth at a -4. Because now you are focused in upon your investigative efforts.
The -4.
Viz, roll me perception. Since you're up there looking around.
A -4 and a +10, that comes to 8.
Total?
Total.
That's a flat 16.
Yeah, you are kind of hovering and looking around. You are enjoying your handiwork with the fairy fire, and you see over in the north end of the room, and I'm not sure which way you're facing, so the tunnel you came out of is in the east end of the room, and you see a figure skulking about along the wall, and of course it sort of gives you a quick start, and then you realize you recognize the silhouette of your good friend Rue Shahar, merchant.
Indeed. Okay.
Sneaky merchant.
So I'll finish looking around this area that is lit up with the fairy fire. It's up for a minute. So I'll just scoot around there. I'll keep concentration on it for the duration unless something dictates otherwise. And then veer off to the south and start examining that area as well.
Okay.
To see what's going on.
You see some piles of straw or hay, grasses, maybe a couple of gnarly looking blankets. Same type of thing Rue's seeing, and there's like a few piles there, and Rue, you've got a few piles. Your investigation, you see some scrapes on the ground, similar to what you saw on the walls. Like it looks like maybe metal has scraped against the floor. Like maybe something metal has scraped against the floor.
So with my lack of dark vision, and the light spell that's cast on the little clockwork bird thing, what is it I can see? Like 40 feet ish.
Yeah, the tunnel in either direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fix probably would have approached at least the pathway, and then whenever I get to like the doorway of this big room, I would cast detect magic. And then
Okay, so you're gonna work your way down the tunnel.
yeah.
Ronvin would obviously come with you. She is pleased to no longer be the youngest member of the party and therefore assumed to be the most inexperienced and naive. And so she's, kind of keeping you under close watch
Babysitting.
as she follows you. And you easily make your way to the opening. Viz and Rue, you notice a very faint and dim light begins to fill the tunnel that spills into this room from the east, and the dim light kind of plays along the floor and the ceiling and the walls as you see the slender silhouette of the young warlock. What does it look like when you cast detect magic?
For Fix, it's at will, and so it's kind of just the colorful eyes he has, like little purple and greenish, like hue to them, just kind of fades to black as he just kind of looks around.
Oh, okay. So they probably wouldn't notice that then, yeah. Okay, so how does magic appear to you when you cast detect magic? Is it a glow? Is it a sense? Is it a vibration? How does that work for Fix?
It'd be kind of like a sense, and so it's like a blip of like I don't know, kind of a warmth, I guess.
Okay.
And it's like oh, there's magic that way. Oh, that way.
Okay. And then as maybe you get closer to it or whatever, it
Yeah.
well within the 30-foot radius,
30
I
feet,
believe,
yeah.
you would be able to then determine what school of magic.
Yeah, and if it's on
Okay.
a creature, it's like an aura around the
Right.
creature.
Okay. Yeah. So Rue, a couple of items. You feel some familiar, the vibration, the hum of arcane energy, the weave, if you will, swirling about both Viz and Rue, focused in upon various items on their person. Not so much that they are magical themselves. Which, and I don't recall if you've cast detect magic around them before or not, but if you have, it's the same effect. Nothing in the room appears to emanate any sort of dwemer of an arcane nature.
Nothing in the room.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, I guess Fix would just kind of look around with that, and then, do y'all see anything? Just kind of call it out to the room.
Oh, Fix is so adorable.
Viz just calls back.
15 arrows.
Viz just calls back. Just some bones, piles of hay,
Ooh.
more bones. Guy up north skulking around. I don't know.
Is the hay warm?
Yeah.
Like, is someone recently laid in it?
Uh-huh.
Where's the hay? I can't see very well. I'll go look.
In the middle, it's lit by all the purple light.
Oh, I can
Over
see
there.
that. All right. I'm oblivious. I'm sorry. Fix will go place the back of his hand against the hay, see if it's awkwardly warm.
It is unawkwardly cool to the touch. It smells in here. Ronvin wanders in. Penny swoops in and illuminates the space, illuminating Viz and Rue. And you see that Fix, if you look down, which I would invite you to do so,
I've looked down so fast.
you've stepped in something rather squishy and horribly rancid. It appears to be two things you may have stepped in. One is rather dark in color with bits of bone and something in it.
Ew.
And the other is rather dark-ish, maybe used to be red, kind of clinging onto a bone. And there are various piles of this material around the sort of not far from the center, more around the center, maybe where the fire and looks like, rancid meat and, well, excrement.
You stinky. Vix will just like wipe his foot on like the hay and try and get it clean, and then remember he tries to
You
vegetate it.
now have hay stuck to the bottom of your boot.
Yeah.
Firmly affixed there by the new adhesive you've discovered.
Oh well. Well, this is my life now. Stinky boot.
Ronvin's like, what? She kind of walks away. Okay.
Yes. Anyone who has owned a dog and stepped in what is left over after winter
Yeah.
knows what that smells like.
Yeah. It's a bummer. Okay. So it seems you've discovered, by you, I mean the collective you, the group has discovered what appears to be some sort of camping arrangement. A lot of the straw isn't fresh, kind of stained dark here and there with various former liquidy things. Kind of gnarly.
Stinky.
And you're in a pretty well illuminated now, thanks to Penny Swoops, a cave, for lack of a better term.
Well, I think we should clearly make this our new base of operations.
You're onto something.
Seems like nobody's home. I guess we should try the other tunnel.
Does this not go anywhere else? Like the scrapes on the walls and stuff just lead to a little cave?
Seems like it. Just do a quick check around. Just see if. Actually, you know what? I'll check all the walls looking for a secret door since we know we found one before.
Could I investigate as well?
You may both.
Oh.
And, if you wish to assist, that would grant one of you advantage.
I will expend one of my advantages that I have.
Or you may simply spend one of your advantages.
Knock that. It helped.
I'll help Rue. Viz will help Rue.
Okay.
Because I know that Rue just loves having Viz help him.
You wouldn't.
Didn't help me much, I can tell you that. We went from a 6 to a 4, so...
Hey! I have a 20. 15 plus 5.
That's a total of 11.
Okay. So you all begin working your way around. Ronvin sends Penny Swoops with Fix.
Yes, please help me. Yeah, I got a
And
20.
of course,
30.
Penny Swoops. Do you wear any headgear, Fix?
Mm-mm. Well, I have a cloak, like a hood, but he doesn't keep it up.
Okay, so Penny Swoops will light upon your shoulder.
Hello.
Light as a sparrow, making nary but a sound, having been recently lubricated.
Cool.
Giving you quite bright light with which to inspect the walls. And so you work your way around the room. Rue, you and Viz maybe are going, counterclock, the opposite way or whatever. And I'll start with Rue and Viz. You find that the walls are very quite literally natural cavern walls, albeit quite dry. Nothing seems to be leaking or seeping moisture. There are a few cracks here and there in the walls, but they all appear to be natural cracks, little fissures and little holes, and you see some creepy crawlies, and just looks like what it should look like to you.
I imagine that Viz's help is like checking 10 feet off the ground just to see if there's any
And Rue's down here
doors up
looking.
there.
Yeah. And Rue is down here at the ground level looking around with your
Taking 10 feet up, coming back down. Do you find anything? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
make your way around.
Take it away.
Make him away.
Fix, you and Penny Swoops. Combing. I assume you're also searching the floor and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you're over on the west wall.
Ooh.
Center of the room, and you notice something odd as you work your way over there from the center. is you see the occasional little sparkles catch your eye from the light from the clockwork sparrow perched upon your shoulder.
Little sparkles.
And you walk and you're like, oh, that's weird, a sparkly-ish, like that, almost like somebody dropped a little glitter or something. And you as you're searching with you said you had a 20, right, investigation?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the sparkles or this glittery, shiny, whatever, are sort of headed toward the west wall. I wouldn't call it a trail, but you don't, if you go a little to the north, a little to the south, it seems they're sort of, and they're not, they just catch your eye. I mean, thankfully you rolled a 20, right? Kind of like,
Yeah,
gosh,
right.
is that a glimmer? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll follow.
But the only area is this kind of swath that leads toward the west wall. But again, it's not a significant concentration.
like
just a few sprinkles
that
here and there, yeah.
It just stops at the wall.
You get to the wall, and with your 20 investigation, you realize there is some seaming in the wall in the general shape of a door, but very cavernesque. Very cleverly. I mean, if it's a secret door, it is really well disguised. Yeah, like it's, a lot of times you see a secret door, you literally, once you realize it's there, the seams of the door shape literally kind of float off the wall at you.
Yeah.
These seams, if they are in fact seams, are very natural looking, very not door-like. They're fit into the contour of the wall.
Does this, Fix would lightly push it to see if it has any give or any wiggle.
Okay. Doesn't seem to.
All right, so I found what might be a door. I don't really know, but there's a sparkle there, and there's one 10 feet that way, and there's kind of a door. It's cavernesque though, kind of just kind of saying it to the room, announcing it. Do y'all see anything to pull or push?
Roll investigation again.
Me?
Ronvin, by the way, is in the center of the room watching the tunnel.
Me roll it?
Yeah.
Ooh, 10.
Yeah, you don't, it looks like you found what could be the outline of something, but if it is, it's kind of weird because there's no door handle, no latch.
And the detect magic doesn't ping anything that might
No, your detect magic does not reveal anything arcane about this set of seams. And you see Viz standing by the grey stone while the thrush knocks, during the last glimpse of the setting sun of Durin's day will shine upon the keyhole, or whatever the hell they said in The Hobbit. I saw what you did there, hey Wilson. What are you going to do there, Fix?
So this very loose path of glittery things leads towards the middle of the room, or back towards
right to where you're standing. Yeah, and away from there, back in the direction of the center of the room.
Back towards where the
fire ring and the poo-poo and the meat and so forth.
I guess Fix would go back over there and just try and move the little straw bed and see if there's anything under that, or check and see if the fire is real. Is this a fire ring that's made from the fairy fire, or is this fire?
No, it's a fire pit.
It's an actual small ring of stones meant to contain a fire. There's, burnt bits of wood and ash.
There's no fire right now?
No.
I think I can fix that. Can I make a fire? Instantly light or snuff a candle or a torch or a small campfire. May I instantly light this small campfire with my prestidigitation?
You can certainly do that.
Yeah. Just...
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go pull out a torch and light it and go examine the door closely and see if I can figure out a way to open it.
Hit me with an investigation there, Rue.
That is an 18 again.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just picturing you like you got the torch, the flames kind of licking on the wall, and you're like, so you very clearly do see the outline of what could be construed as a door, and then you see a bit of loose rock. There, kind of in the wall beside the door, maybe a foot to the left. Feels a little, you can see that looks like a rock that's been inlaid.
Before I do anything, I'm just gonna lay ear against the door-ish area and see if I can hear anything on the other side.
Good idea.
Yeah, go ahead and perceptionalize that.
That is a 26.
Oh,
Nice. You hear what sounds like a butterfly passing gas. No, nothing.
Nothing.
It sounds like dead, like you're listening to a stone wall.
Then I'm gonna motion to everyone. I think this stone brick here might be a way to open the door.
Push, pull, turn, lift. Rest from its resting place.
I knew I missed something. Vix will come back over there.
Yeah, there's a loose, smallish rock, just kind of loose there in the wall. It would even be hard to you can't get your hand around it. It doesn't protrude out. It's kind of flush with the surface. And again, the surface of the wall is very irregular.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like outside of the outline of the door,
Correct.
right?
Yes, it's like a good foot or so, 14 inches to the left.
So I'm gonna get down low to the floor underneath the brick, and then reach over my head and try to push it.
So you're going to get down on the floor.
Out over, so that I'm not in front of the door. I'm gonna be like under where the brick is.
Yep.
Or
And
when
what
the
are you
rocks
what are you
fall,
gonna do when you
he
touch
wants him
the
to hit
brick
me.
or the loose part of the wall? What are you gonna do?
Push.
Just gonna push it?
into the wall.
Okay. Yeah. So the door swings open and then falls on you. No, I'm kidding. It's like Wile E. Coyote. Yeah.
The Wacky Hobbit channel.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
No, and it doesn't.
Try-
You can feel that it's a little loose, but it doesn't push inward.
Okay. Try to pull.
Okay. You can kind of get your fingers in some depressions, but it's hard to get you try to pull and you can't really get a grip on anything to pull it outward.
Oh, I got this. I'll take out my hand axe and try and pry it out with that.
Jeez.
Okay. Let's see. Let's try the pry skill. Let's go with athletics.
Oh, my specialty.
I was gonna say.
I rolled a 20. A natural 20 minus 2.
Oh boy.
18.
18.
Yeah, it's loose, but even as sharp as your wonderful hand axe is, and it's a
Very
wonderful hand axe.
Just dulling the blade.
I can describe it to you if you wish. That's how wonderful it is, but to no avail.
You tried pushing this, right?
See,
Yes.
we've tried push, pull, and pry.
Open.
Also
So-
nothing.
I speak the Elvish word for friend. No.
Yeah, melon.
I will
Oh, yeah,
try
it's
to
worth a shot.
Suddenly, a huge thing with lots of tentacles crawls into the far tunnel entrance to the room. Yeah, the Watcher. No, yeah, nothing.
Twist it.
I will try to twist it.
Okay. Describe for me how you will twist this stone. 'Cause I'm sure that'll work.
Do the twist again, like you did last summer.
Right or left? Oh,
Oh man, chubby chicker.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to wedge a finger in the in where it's sticking out slightly.
righty tighty or lefty loosey?
I guess righty tighty. Why not?
So let's see, righty tighty. That's counterclockwise.
That's
That's
clockwise.
Clockwise.
That's clockwise. I totally meant that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you kind of get some fingers in the little depressions, and it starts to spin. And then you see the door begin to recess away from you, and it recesses about 3 inches and then slides silently into what must be a pocket. And before you, you have a rather unnatural opening to a natural looking opening to a natural looking tunnel. And Rue, you were investigating with an 18, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you too have noticed the odd, like, little gleam or glint of a sprinkle or something here and there, kind of in front of, and now through.
Is it like if I get down? Does it seem like something I can try to pick up, or?
It's very small, but you can try.
Sure, I'll try to pick one up.
Do what I do. Lick your finger and press it against the thing that's loose.
Glitter of death claims another character. No, it's a mimic. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you manage to, like maybe press your thumb against it and look, and sure enough, there's like a little hard crystal that's sort of translucent and sparkly, especially when the light from Penny Swoops catches
I
it.
put it on my tongue.
You put it on your tongue.
Tastes like
Why
salt.
do party members taste everything?
It's an important sense, okay? It's one of the like 5.
It is very much reminiscent of salt.
Why is there a make behind it?
But it's different salt than you've tasted, but it's definitely like, okay, that's salt.
I pull a face and say, "Salt. Why is there salt down here?"
This is an ancient salt mine under Dagger Falls.
You see a flat red, oddly shaped piece of cardboard with a rather curvilinear M in gold upon it, crumpled upon the floor near the crystals. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what?
Wait, what was that reference?
A McDonald's fry box.
Oh,
The golden starches.
Ooh, man, we are really zinging the dead
it is
jokes
one
tonight.
of those nights.
So there you have before you a tunnel, a very dark tunnel, leading further westward. It kind of vanishes around a corner. There are a few of these little crystals here and there. As Penny Swoops elevates, you can see a couple of them gleam. The light from her light cantrip catches them, and they reflect back at her.
Well, once more into the salt, I guess.
Into the salt mines.
We'll stealthily head into the tunnel.
Okay. Is the party going to follow?
Yeah, I want to be sneaky.
Okay. All right. So you make your way, and this is a natural tunnel. This has not been tooled or worked. Even the floor is a little rough. I will also say, with your investigation, Rue, you notice that this secret door contraption or whatever appears to be less old than the stonework in all the tunnels. And so forth. Yeah. Looks like maybe more recently constructed.
Okay.
Okay. So you make your way.
Right.
And you are in, and again, I might call upon my friend Peter Jackson and the lovely work that they did, and our friends at that place in New Zealand. I can't remember the name of that special effects company, but it feels very much akin to tromping around the mines of Moria. It is echoey here and there. Sometimes the roof elevates. There's a side tunnel here after several hundred feet on one side, and but smaller. The occasional tunnel and intersection stop me when you want me to, you want to go a direction. But it feels very kind of natural. If it were dug out, it were left, to be made to look natural, or perhaps it is some geological feature that has been created, that has created these tubes. And they turn and wind generally westward for a while. All of the tunnels that enter from either side, and there's not a ton of them, right? It doesn't feel like you're in some kind of a maze, but you're definitely in some sort of a tunnel complex or tunnely thing. You'll also notice that you're steadily descending. Some of the side tunnels look like they might go up a little bit, some down, all smaller than the tunnel you're in. The tunnel you're in is a good 10 to 12 feet across in most places. Sometimes it hollows into a little bit bigger cavern and then continues on. And by a little bit bigger, I'm thinking 15, 18 feet across for, a little while, and then it goes back to the 10 to 12 foot tunnel.
Do I have a sense for, if I were to guess, have I passed like the western edge of town yet?
Your sense of that, you passed it quite some time ago. I would say, I'm going to assume you're going to continue on looking around. You've been probably 8-10 minutes away from the cavern where you discovered the secret door, so you've gone a ways. And you're definitely past the western wall of where Dagger Falls would be.
Okay.
And you've been steadily, not steeply, but steadily descending.
So we're going down?
Yeah. You can feel it in the pitch of the floor, and then you can feel that you must have been going down because you feel it level again in places. But it's very, very random. It's not
down
doesn't
far,
feel constructed. No, you're not down a chute or something. But
Ears
you're-
haven't popped.
Not yet. Oh, did I say yet? I'm sorry.
And can we tell, is this the air moving down here?
It's hard telling. It doesn't really feel like it. Feels a little bit more stale, a little bit more musty. I will say that you do seem to see little bits of the sparkle on the floor now and again. Do we have, I'm assuming we're just keeping penny swoops
Yeah, just keep him lit.
illuminated? Okay. Yeah. So, 8-10 minutes, 15 minutes as you wander, generally westward. 20 minutes. Again, it's a little windy, couple corners. Still going down. A few side tunnels here and there,
yeah,
but you're still following the salt. But again, it's not like a trail. You have to continually kind of... okay, yep, there's a couple sparkles. I see it. Yep.
The side tunnels that we've seen, do they
Yes.
go farther than I can see?
Yes. You've passed a couple of empty chambers with nothing but debris. Like if you were to look in, on one side or the other, there's maybe some bone or some debris, some pile of rock, but nothing. It just looks sort of desolate. After
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
After about 15 minutes or so, I'm going to pull up and wait for the party to kind of catch up.
Yeah, they do.
On the way down here, Fix probably would cast Mage Armor on himself. As just kind of like taps his chest, and this like black swirly smoke just kind of surrounds him a bit. Not super visible, but it's there.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Chicken.
It's at will, man. I'm scared.
So they said 4 hours and they'd send people in. Yeah?
Yeah, you guys have probably been gone 45 minutes.
Okay. I was just thinking if we're
Didn't
getting
it didn't
close
take
enough-
like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most to get to that cavern and find the secret door?
And I guess I'll make your life harder and
so
detect
you've-
magic.
You've gone well into this. You feel like maybe you've turned a little more northward. And you've been in here probably 25, 30 minutes. Your ears have popped.
Ooh.
You've descended a ways. Did you say you recast Detect Magic?
Yeah, I'll throw that back up for another time.
Okay. Yeah. Same outcome as before. Your traveling companions, various items upon them will give you that sense, that warmth or that vibration to the point where they glow when you're close enough.
Cool.
Well, this seems to be at least one entrance into town where people could get in. I don't know how far we want to go with this. The good news is we can block off the door at that cavern that we found, and this whole network would be shut out. I assume there's some way to disable that door or something.
Right, it's not a bad idea. You don't think that the only things using this whole network was the people we fought? I'm sure other things use it.
It's possible, but this could keep going for days. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, we should probably stay a path and then head back. Let them know what's here. This seems
Yeah.
like a lot.
I think so.
We can explore a bit more, but we don't want them sending anything down here without us really reporting back and saying, well, maybe commit more time down here.
Right.
It's
You
kind
want
of
to check
impressive.
a side room or two and then head back maybe? Or do y'all want to keep on the main path?
Let's keep on the main path for now. Yeah, let's get back to that cavern and then regroup.
I will follow you.
We'll head back to the lovely smelling campground.
The stinky smelling.
Campground of Dagger Falls.
Okay.
New tourist attraction.
So you retrace your steps. About 30 minutes. For anybody who wishes, may roll perception. You do see, again, just a little occasional speckle or glitter.
16.
22.
Oh! So perceptive.
Yeah. So Rue, you do notice as the party's cruising along, or maybe as you're back out in front of the party scouting, I presume you're gonna go back in the same manner. You pass one of the side tunnels, one of the little bit smaller side tunnels, and something kind of catches your ear. Is it? It's hard to. Is it a howl? Or a chortle of some kind. It's a higher pitched sort of soundish coming from either ahead or maybe down that side passage.
Does it sound far away?
Yeah, it does. You're underground in tunnels, so it could sound far away and not be, or it could sound close by and be, feet and feet and feet away. It's hard telling, but it does sound far away, yes.
Sorry, I'm just looking for something. I do not see that. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna come back towards the cavern.
Okay. Keep moving then.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and so about 30 minutes goes by. And you make your way rather uneventfully back to the cavern with all of the nastiness and the glittery sparklies of salt upon the floor. Yes, here and there.
Is that glittery, sparkly? Is that like any? I don't know. Would Fix know of anything that would leave a trail like this, or if anything does leave a trail like that?
Yeah, I mean, someone carrying a bag of salt. Or chunks of salt, or yeah, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's leaking salt somewhere.
That's no good. Salt monster.
I mean, you all know that salt is a thing that's mined, so it's not a incredibly bizarre finding in a tunnel system.
It would be more unusual to find butter down
Or is it?
there. Salt and buttery.
Yes, if only there were popcorn.
Oh, love pop.
So you're back at the cavern.
Does it look like there is a similar mechanism on the outside of this door to what we found on the inside?
On the tunnel side, you mean?
Yes.
Roll an investigation for me there, Rue.
May I help him?
You may certainly do so.
That is another 18.
Yes. So on the wall, which would be again on the left side. No, it's the same side as. No, it's on the left side. A very similar sort of loose bit of stone there that looks to be eerily similar to the one on the cavern side.
Can I see the door where it receded into like the pocket?
Yeah, as you're looking at it now, it's on your right, and you can see the outline of the edge of the door jamb. That's recessed.
Pretty thick?
Oh yeah, yeah. The door itself looks to be probably 3-4 inches thick. The whole door jamb itself is probably a foot or more between that wall and the cavern side and the other side of the wall that's in the tunnel.
What I'd like to try to do is figure out a way using the two button devices thing. I want to try to get this door locked and closed with me on the inside. I don't really know
By
the
inside.
engineering.
Which-
I want to be in the cavern.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
want to make it so that nothing from, in particular, that nothing from the outside, from the tunnel side, can use that.
Into the stinky room.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gosh, roll me an engineering check. Let's see.
That's Rondon's thing.
Yeah, she would probably be like, "What you trying to do there?"
I figure if we can get this door locked, then nothing will be able to get in.
Okay.
While we go investigate the other path.
So she's gonna get busy inspecting the door. She scratches her chin and looks around, and
Roll for door.
She twists the inner, loose stone, and the door comes out of the wall and seals. Meanwhile, you all are still in the tunnel, I assume.
Mhm.
And the door is closed. And then she kind of twists it back, and it, it's not like a Star Trek airlock seal, but man, that thing fits. It's like it
Good.
vanishes once it gets in there, except for the fact that you kind of know it's there now.
Mhm.
But it's pretty damn impressive. And then it pulls back away from the wall, recedes towards you, and slides back into its pocket. And even looking at the wall where it vanished, did you not, if you didn't know it was there, you'd probably have a hard time seeing it. Like, this looks like a foot to 15-inch thick breezeway wall that you're walking through from tunnel side to stinky room side.
Stinky.
She's like, I can't tell how to, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to seal it. There's no locking mechanism I can see. I don't know what to do.
I'm just gonna take a crowbar and try to pry the loose piece of stone away, try to pry it out of the wall and
Okay.
basically break it.
Okay. Give me an athletics.
Ooh, I'm gonna burn an advantage then.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a natural 20.
Ooh!
Ooh. For a total of 19.
Okay. So you take a big breath and two hands on your pry bar, your crowbar, whatever it is, except it's definitely not a tire iron. And you take a big swing and tink. The forged iron, makes that iron clanky sound. A couple of chips come off the wall, the stone just a little bit, but it doesn't really do a lot. And I mean, you wallop that sucker. Like the crowbar kind of vibrates a little bit in your hands, which is rather uncomfortable. Just hits it with a dead tank.
Well, I hit it with my best shot.
And then you hear down the tunnel, dong,
I think it's communicating with you.
the sound of a large drum.
A drum?
I'm
Like
just
a
kidding.
boom?
I'm just kidding.
Come
Oh,
on.
come on.
Killing me.
Oh, they have a cave troll.
Oh, we have a sharp knife and the willingness to use it.
Fool of a took. Yeah, really not, which I'm assuming you're trying to shatter, break, jam,
Yep.
something, but yeah, no. And are you all still in the tunnel, or are you in the cavern?
The stinky room.
Stinky room?
Whichever one that is.
I was trying to break the one that was in the tunnel, so I'm still in the tunnel.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, I could hit it with the stick too. But
Sorry.
but no, yeah, I've got the stick, I promise.
It's on my character sheet.
Okay, you have a +1 to quarterstaff.
That's a
You
buck
don't
and
want-
that's a buck and a quarter staff.
Yeah, it does a d6 -1.
-1, you say?
I'm not the strongest individual.
So I can't get at the mechanism or anything behind this loose stone.
Yeah, it seems to be all very well built.
And it's not magical from my detect magic earlier.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's mechanical.
Oh.
Blech.
How thick is the wall on the room
There's a question.
side to the pocket? Like, how much stone distance would be involved in that?
Yeah, so it's about a 15-inch thick wall, and the door thickness itself is probably 4 inches. So if you subtract 4 from 15, you get about 11. And so on either side of the pocket where the door is currently residing, there would be give or take 5.5 inches or so of solid rock.
Yeah. We don't really have a way of drilling into that, do we?
Unless Rondon is something I don't.
Well, Rondon's got tinker tools, I think, but I think we need more stonework tools.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Tinker tool, thieves tools, jackhammer +9. Oh wait, no, just kidding. Yeah, she doesn't really have anything that.
Could I try and shoot the mechanism with an Eldritch Blast and see if the force damage would knock it loose or break it or something?
You most certainly can try.
All right, Fix would, get up near Rue and be like, watch out, I'm going to try something. And I'll just shoot at it.
What?
I'm shooting 2 of these, yeah? Because the first one's a 1. And I'm level 5, so 2 of these come out. The second one's a 3. A 1 and a 7. Or 10.
So a nat 1
Yeah.
and a 10.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so the nat 1 you go to, and it kind of, what does it look like when you shoot an Eldritch
Usually it
Blast?
just like points or snaps and just like launches something.
Okay. Yeah,
kind
and
of a
you
little
do that,
flourish.
and it kind of goes, pew, and it just kind of
First one
plays
I say,
plays across the floor and dissipates, and then the second one hits the wall with some force, but nothing exciting really happens. You just
then
see
it-
the energy just disperse
Impregnable.
all around the wall. Yeah,
Wall's
clearly
invincible.
with that 10 there, that's clearly impregnable.
It must be unable to be broken into or something.
Is there a way that one of us could figure out, Rondon probably being the more mechanical, to shim something to keep the door from opening?
Yeah, when it opens and closes, is there like a crack in the wall that is more or less like apparent?
There is a pocket on the tunnel side that is, vacated when the door comes across the tunnel mouth and pushes forward and seals into the, the space that it was apparently cut from.
So a thing might be jammed in the pocket, but
And that leaves someone on that side.
I'm gonna shine my torch.
Y'all want to roll a d4 on that, or who's going to stay?
It's Rondon because she's not here.
Yeah, that's right.
I rolled a 4 for Rondon.
So where are you shining your light there, Rue?
Into the pocket. Just
Ah,
looking down
you'll have to
at
close the door
of it.
again in order to do that.
Yeah, I'll close the door.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of get your fingers in there, and, it takes some, strength. You twist slowly clockwise, and the door slides out. And you do see a pocket that goes back, it looks like the door, it's like a perfect fit. It's crazy.
I have a terrible idea.
What's moving the door? Is it on a track, or does it have a railing mechanism, or magic?
It's hard telling because you can't really see anything. The door comes out. You don't
It's
see
got a
any
track.
signs of track or magic or.
Go ahead with your terrible idea, Andrew.
No, it's not gonna do what I want. Yeah, I'll just open it. And, I guess we just leave it for now, and we can bring a crew back down here from town, try and seal it properly later.
I could leave my... No, I don't want to leave my backup darkness. I want to keep this with me. Never mind. I'm going to be stingy.
Yeah, I thought about that.
They might find the door still. It'd be impossible to open that stupid door.
All right, well, let's check the main tunnel, see where that goes. We're gonna leave this door shut.
Yeah.
Main tunnel. To what tunnel are you referring, sir?
back the way that we came through.
Yeah, back to the Dagger Falls tunnels.
Yeah. So where we took the side tunnel to find this cavern, you said the main tunnel kept going there, right?
Yeah, if you go south, it goes to the room that's under the Temple of Lathander. You've been there.
Yeah, we were. Oh, wait.
This is what we're in is a side passage off the
Of the
tunnel.
southward tunnel, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if we had kept going and not taken the side tunnel, that would have taken us
To the room beneath the Temple of Lathander, yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did not follow that.
Are we in the tunnel? Are we in the cavern? Where are we exactly?
I think at this point we're in the cavern.
In fact, I'll just let y'all roll, whoever wants to roll perception.
Yeah, those are good. I'm quite perceptive today. I can't lie.
I'm glad you are.
Would you
'cause I
like
can't
to-
roll over 10?
Would you like to share how perceptive you are, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean it's a 16. But,
Oh, okay. Nice. Good. Yeah.
but for me, that's good.
Yeah.
So I got a 22.
Yeah. Rue, you hear this for sure. You hear a very low growl from... Doesn't sound too far down the tunnel that leads, the winding natural cavern tunnel, the other side of the secret door.
Oh.
It doesn't sound friendly, rather menacing. Do you, look down there?
Does only Rue hear that?
Yeah, Rue hears growling, and it sounds like it is coming closer, slowly.
We're just gonna point in that direction and say something's coming.
Uh-oh. To the door?
It's coming up the tunnel from beyond the secret door. You all are kind of in the cavern.
So, here's a technicality question. If I use thaumaturgy to instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or closed, could I try it? Does it open?
That's a great idea.
The door's already open, right?
It
I thought we
is.
were close to that.
Nobody
Can
had
I make
said
it
anything
close?
about closing.
Does it close?
Let me see. Just breathe and
Okay.
take a second. Let the DM.
I'm asking
Let's see.
chat. Let's take a poll.
Yeah, but-
someone get a poll.
Jeff doesn't get to decide.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jeff doesn't talk.
say, because this is
This is a door that's got a
One for
closing
yes, two
mechanism
for
on
no.
it.
this cantrip, mind you, cantrip, not spell of any power.
Not a can't trip.
It's not a cantrip, but it affects mundane things, and this
Yeah,
is
like-
not a mundane thing. So no, the fucking door doesn't close.
That's fun.
Yeah, no,
That's worth
it
a
does
shot,
not.
right?
You're like, and then
There's like, nah.
what? Yeah, nothing happens.
Otherwise, the parties would just be running around.
Looks like the cavern.
Prestidigitating.
Looks like the cavern floor is not the only thing that's solved.
Yeah.
Here.
No, so nothing happens with the door. And Rue, as you're looking down that tunnel, ooh, I heard an explosion. Hey, Feed Me, thanks for the follow. Very nice. Welcome.
Nice.
You see approaching a pair of red eyes,
Oh,
the vague silhouette of a
Man?
it's kind of dog-shaped looking, only because you can kind of see flamey reddish where nostrils might be, and then a sort of a maw kind of opens, and it breaks into a run, coming
Try and shut the door.
up the tunnel. You're gonna shut the door.
Yes.
he's gonna
Okay.
get you.
We're all inside, right?
Roll initiative.
It's coming at 50
Mach
feet
9.
speed. So by your deduction and the time, in the split second, you're like, it's going to get in here. So I'm going to let you make your decision. Do you shut the door or do you not? Because this thing is bounding at you, and when you see it, it is this obsidian black, charcoalish gray. For a dog, this thing's pretty big and badass looking. All fours, it's got claws.
Puppy.
It looks angry, hungry, something. It's got red. I mean, it looks like it's going to beat you to the door. Because this thing has, kind of sprung into action. And if you recall, as described by the Dungeon Master, clearly, twice, it takes a little, get your fingers in there. It's going to cover enough ground in the 6 seconds that, yeah. So, I'm going to give you a choice. It's coming at you. You've pointed. What would you like to do?
Because I will draw my swords and take a stand.
Okay. You all see Rue point down the tunnel. Something's coming. You hear growling, yowling, not in a friendly way, right? And coming at you, Rue, is something the size of a, like at the shoulder, the size of maybe a mastiff, the big mastiff. Not a bull mastiff, but a proper mastiff. Only lean, cross like greyhound with Rottweiler with anger. And it is like obsidian black. It almost like there's smoke coming from its nostrils. Eyes are glowing red. Let's roll initiative.
No. Oh. That could have been better.
Hang on. Uno secundo. Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. I think it's like that one neighbor who doesn't like play with their dog enough, and so it barks at everyone when they walk by, but
There
it
you
just
go.
wants to get pet.
Okay, 25 to 20.
Crickets.
Nope.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Wow, bummer. An animagus. That's pretty funny, Feed Me. You must know me in some way. Very clever. I'll figure it out. 20 to 15.
17 for Viz.
Ooh. You too, bro?
15 to 10.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
10 to 5.
9.
6. Haha.
Rue at 9. Fix
Six
at
with a
6. Ronvin came in ahead of Rue with a 14.
Thank you.
Okay, so as you all stand there, I'm assuming probably within, 10 to 15 feet, kind of around the mouth of this tunnel as you're watching, kind of trying to contemplate what to do here. And you hear the clickety-clack of claws upon the stone, and you hear the growl and the bark. And out of the tunnel springs this large dog, again, just obsidian black, long black tail, ears flat back against its head, salivating, yellowish fangs, mouth snapping at Rue as it leaps to attack the first tasty morsel in front of it. And actually, before it does that, I need each character to make a DC 12 Dex save.
Is it
Oh,
bunches for
bummer.
bad breath?
As a big 15-foot cone of fire, as it exits the tunnel, washes across the party.
Oh my.
DC 12 Dex.
60.
You're good?
I doubled the DC. I got 24.
That's reasonably decent. How about you there, Biz?
That means it heals you.
15.
Okay, everybody
Sure,
saved?
that's how it works.
Okay.
What about ramen?
Ronvin kind of stood there aghast and did not make any real move. And so this thing just immolates over her. But then you realize that she's not taking any more damage than you are. And then it occurs to someone who's been around a while, probably Rue, that she's wearing that ring of protection fire. And so with your successful saves and her resistance, you take 11 fire.
I'd take half of that, correct?
Why would you do that?
Resistant?
Oh, you are, yes.
Yes.
I'm like, why would you do that? No, take double. Okay. And it is out into the room in your midst. Rue, you are close enough for melee, because wow. But it's not your turn. So, Viz, you're up.
How far away is it?
It's within melee. I kind of pictured you all sort of around the mouth, anywhere within 10 to 15 feet of this thing, or the mouth of the tunnel. And it sprang out, belched fire, and all y'all are smelling like burnt hair and stuff. And so you can easily melee it. It's within, it's 5 feet or so.
Yeah, I was going to do my thrown daggers, but yeah, if it's close enough for melee, I'll do that.
I mean, you can move also. I know you kind of tend to float and hover, so whatever you want to do, man.
I'll just use my rapier and go in for the attacks. First attack is a 16.
Ooh.
A 16. Well, let us consult the armor class. Hey, Cubity, thanks for that sub. That is so awesome. That's going to give the players a +2 that they can use. They now have a total of 31 of those. Thanks for your Prime sub. Certainly happy to have that. Very, very honored. 16, you say?
Yes, sir.
That is a hit.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is 10 damage.
10 damage.
Second attack is higher than that. It's 27.
Viz the fairy tank. I always picture like Baloo from the Flintstones. Or Kazoo, that's his name, Kazoo.
Yeah, something like
Little
that.
green guy.
Baloo's from the animal story.
Yep. Jungle Book.
I think Jungle Book, yeah. That's another 10 damage as Viz quickly zaps left and right with his rapier.
Very nice. Yeah, so stabby stab, a couple holes, and man, you put that first one, it was a little tough to get in, but the second one easily penetrates the thick hide and into the sinew of the shoulder of this thing, and it just howls and snaps at your rapier. Anything else, Viz?
No, that's it for now.
Okay. After Viz comes Ronvin. And again, we are kind of in melee, so I think what she'll do is check her available actions. She's going to step back about 20 feet. And I'm going to say that, yeah, she's just going to step back. This thing just got stabbed by Viz, so his focus is on you, Viz. And so he's not going to try an opportunity attack on Ronvin, because I think that's just how he would react. He's not going to be quite savvy enough for that with a big old 6 intelligence. So she's going to step back about 20 feet, and I think y'all know what's coming. Beep, 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 beep. Lightning launcher, right? She kind of has that launcher thing in her armor. And she gets a 14. And the lightning caroms off the thick fur and down the tunnel, and you see the flash as part of the tunnel, is illuminated by this lightning, and it just skitters down the tunnel. And she curses in some sparkly, glittery sounding language, also known as celestial, and takes another shot, and this time hits this thing full on in the chest. And it sustains 9 lightning damages. And you can smell its fur, melt and burn with the electricity, and it kind of, twitches and tenses up and locks up and then releases when the electricity dissipates. And you hear her kind of laughing, in the background. Ronvin, that was Ronvin. Rue, you're up.
All right.
Roll perception.
I'm sorry?
Roll perception. And I did that interruption on purpose.
That was a natural 19 for 20.
Because, holy shit, here comes another one up the tunnel.
Oh, goodness.
Is that one far enough away that I could close the door behind you?
If you can get past the one you're on,
It got between me and the button?
well, remember it came out of the tunnel, and you were further away from it. So yeah, it's it's a you're gonna have to maneuver. You could risk an attack of opportunity. Let me put it that way. You just got another advantage.
No, come on.
No, Rue did.
Oh.
By
Come on,
you,
Sid.
by you, I mean Rue. Yeah.
Could I, if I disengaged, could I get through it without...
Disengage move is a thing. Absolutely.
Alright, so I will disengage the bonus action, cunning action, get to the latch, and twist it shut.
Okay, so this thing is barreling up the tunnel, and the door closes, and you hear nothing behind it.
Is that my action?
Yeah, for sure, because disengage is
Okay.
your action. And then move, and then I'm going to say simple item interaction for the door. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
Wait, disengage was my bonus action.
Okay, so then you have an action. Smart ass.
Okay.
If there's any DMs out there, don't allow rogues in your party.
paladins.
Just don't.
Then can I get back to it and stab?
You have 30 feet of movement, right?
Yep.
Yep. I think that totally fits your
Yeah.
sort of,
Aesthetic.
movie
What-
jumpy, dexterous guy roguishness. Yeah, absolutely.
And do I happen to be on the flanking side opposite of Riz?
Okay, now you're just pissing me off.
But it doesn't matter. I got a natural one.
Well, you've still got enemy. You still have allies within. You have allies within 5 feet of it. So, if you're angling for some sneak attack damage, that's easily attained.
Well, I was wondering if I would get the +2 flanking bonus too. That's 15.
Let's do this. Let's throw it to the dice.
Okay, this seems fair.
15 under. Gonna go 50-50. That is a 25. You indeed may add +2 to your net 1.
All right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a natural one. I looked at
Oh, I see.
I gotta tell you, Preston, the 7 does not look different enough from the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 7 plus 8 plus 2 is a 17.
That hits.
See, that's why on mine, my one's yellow. That way it's big in my face, and I'm like, man!
Make the one look like a middle finger.
That's actually a great idea.
Have you seen the darn it dice? You roll one, and it's just like darn. You're like, alright.
So that is 18 points of
Nice.
just piercing damage, I think it is.
18. Let's see. What is that? Okay, man.
Short swords piercing.
Man, you just put a hole in that sucker. That's a rapier, right?
Short sword, yeah.
Short sword. Okay, that's different than a rapier because that's a slasher. Okay, so you open up a grievous wound across the neck of this thing, and you see blood, but it's almost a little bit congealed, like cottage cheese consistency, floating in milk, sort of like lava, maybe. Kind of like lava blood running down, and steam. It's melting the fur, and the fur is burning. Nasty. Anything else, Rue?
Lasagna blood.
No, I think that's good.
All right. Fix.
Yeah, Fix would be like reaching in his bag for a scroll and then realize Rue closed the door and be like, oh, okay, we're good with that, I guess. And then just shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts.
2 Eldritch Blasts. Do your best, man.
2 of them. One's a natural 20 and one's a 10. So it's 16.
Oh, well, okay then.
17. Yeah, that's like my 4th natural 20 tonight, I promise. Here,
I'm
I can show you
gonna
one.
let you enjoy the damage roll, after which point you're gonna describe for me
Okay.
how you eviscerate this here animal
You
thing.
want me to roll damage?
Oh yeah, to get the love of the nat 20. Give me your,
So the first one is 22 points of force damage. A 10 and an 8. And then the second one's a 5 points because I rolled a 1 on the D10. So 27 points of force damage.
Yeah, so you blow this thing off its 4 feet, and it just pushes all the way across the room, and up against the wall you hear the cracking of bone, and it falls to the stone floor. And you all are just kind of trying to get your senses, catch your breath. When it falls, a conflagration of flames, and the heat is like forces you to back up.
Cool.
And you see this billowing eruption of smoke and like embers, as if it were a campfire that has a bunch of like dried leaves thrown upon it, or maybe some fireworks. And then it burns itself out quickly, and all you see are little tufts of black fur and just the horrid smell of burnt fur and flesh. Acrid smoke fills the chamber, and all grows quiet.
So we're back in the tunnel behind the door.
No, you're in the
We're in the
you're in
stinky room.
the stinky room.
Oh, okay. They came up that time.
Yeah. Remember, he was trying to shut the secret door and decide whether or not, because the one was coming so fast.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Stinky room.
Well, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was exciting. There's another one behind the door, right?
Ronvin's kind of standing there, like looking at it and looking at you guys, and like, where did it go? What was that? Was that a dog?
It's a fire dog.
Idea.
Do I know what it
Could
is?
we hear the thing on the other side of the door?
Is it
Or-
like pawing at the
You
door?
hear nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Viz, I would say no.
I'm a fire dog activist. Do I? No, I'm just playing.
I would say, Fix, you're gonna roll. If you want to know, if you think you know,
Oh.
you're gonna fetch your d20, and I'm gonna invite you to make a roll of.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna have you use insight, as you're trying to. You're standing there like, okay, what am I gonna? What is this thing? And again, the smell of this room is sort of overwhelming because you're back in the excrement, rancid, rotted, half mush pudding, textured meat. Yeah, it's bad. It's gross.
Very on brand as the party's flaming dog expert. I roll a 3.
Yeah.
So what do I know?
You see that, and here's what happens. You're oddly, keenly aware that you feel like you should know what that is, which strikes you as odd because you're like, why the hell would I know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Other than a flaming fire dog.
It's a flaming fire dog. It obviously. It's the only thing it could be.
Yeah. Or, I mean, now it's just like little small piles of smoldering
Flaming
black fur.
Used to be. Yeah. That's what it was, of course. Obviously, it's a phoenix. It comes back in like 10 years. There's an egg in there.
Every warlock's crazy about a sharp dressed hellhound.
So what does the party do? Is Ronvin's kind of collecting her wits, looking up the other tunnel, which is actually the hallway of the tunnel that's led you into this cavern in the first place. The secret door has closed.
I say we keep this closed. And
Yeah, problems doing that though, don't we?
what's that?
Well, if someone with enough fingers on the other side opens the door,
Right.
Sure.
I got no way of forcing it to stay closed.
Nor do I.
You sound like I do.
Well, we can leave it long enough to get a crew down here that can hopefully seal the door for good.
Right. That might not be a bad idea.
or postcards at it, one or the other.
I could I have the scroll of magic circle. I might could drop this here and say like no fiends come in here if we assume it's a fiend or elemental or something. I don't know. We could give it like an hour of none of a specific thing going through this circle. I don't think I have to stay inside the circle to do this.
Would everybody roll perception for me?
Sure. I don't see it. I promise.
19.
Scott, you and your perception checks. 27.
Yeah, so you
together
hear a very familiar sound, a low rumbling begin. Almost like the sound of the door opening as Ronvin looks at you and points in the direction of the door. And as the door recesses and opens and slides across, it reveals another dog.
No.
And I want you to think about, without the branches, the base shape and size of adult Groot. Thick, wide, maybe 3-toed, clawed feet. Long, gnarly legs up to a waist with sort of a belt around it and like a green cloth hanging, holding a huge scimitar that would ordinarily probably be two-handed for the average human, ripped like an 8-pack of abs, chest, long, gnarly, knobby arms with claws, little sparkles here and there upon it.
The salt monster.
And the head, sort of like Groot with these, spines, again, here and there sort of glistening in the whatever light source, I suppose, from penny swoops. And it stands there, and you see it's got this, like, underslung jaw mandible with these very, very sharp-looking fangs and sharpy little bottom teeth that are almost like crystals. And they sparkle and gleam as it gets a wicked smile across its face.
That's not good.
And it begins to speak. What languages do we have in the party?
Common, Giant, and Sylphan.
Common, Goblin, and Halfling.
Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Gnomish, Infernal.
Yeah, so this thing emits this gravelly, stony tone. And Viz and Ronvin and Rue, all you hear is this very profane, percussive, sharp, jagged sound of... And Fix, you hear in a very familiar, almost comforting language. Who are you and what have you done with my beast? And there, our episode will end for the evening.
Is this a big, like, tree monster rock thing?
Well, but it looks, I used a Groot explanation description because it's shaped and constructed that way, but it appears to be, it's hard to say what it's made of. It looks stonier than woodier.
Salt. It's like that Pokemon, like Regigigas or something.
And there you have it. So we're going to sit right there.
I do not choose it.
No? Is it the wrong one?
It has chosen you.
Yeah, Regigigas. Yeah.
And so there we shall end our story for the evening. Friends. Nice. Okay. That was fun. That was fun. Let's go around the horn and just, tell your adoring fans in chat, all 9 of them, a little bit about yourselves. We'll start, we'll go in reverse order. I think Viz went last. So, Viz, you can start off the outros.
Oh, into the outros.
Into the outros.
Hi, I'm Dave Hay Wilson on the social medias, playing Viz, the Fairy Rune Knight. And unlike what Scott asked at the beginning of the game, apparently there are some other people who are contemplating at least playing a Fairy Rune Knight, which is very interesting. Did a quick Google search. I play here Monday nights with Scott under the delightful tutelage of this one wily hobbit. I also play here on Wednesdays, so do join us on Wednesday. We're getting that game back in gear again. We've got all of our beloved players back together after various life events. And I just want to wish Andrew a happy belated birthday.
Oh, that's right.
The big 4-0 happens sometime
Happy birthday,
in the
friend.
recent
Happy
past.
birthday.
I love you, man. Happy birthday, buddy. Oh, he covered up.
And you didn't think we'd forget, did you? But happy birthday, my man. Well, welcome to the Old Farts Club.
Oh, kitty.
Nice.
That's it for me.
Okay, how about Fix? What's going on, man? Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Preston, or Dice Fix on the social medias that I am addicted to Twitter on. I have an Instagram if you want to look at shiny dice that I don't post on. Good stuff over there. Aside from trying to spit out as much dice I can while still doing homework, got not a lot going on. But, you can catch me here on Mondays. And the dice stream kicked off last night for like an hour. Might try and do that again in a few days.
Nice.
Not sure.
I need to watch one of those.
It's usually at like degenerate hours on the East, for those East Coasters.
I see.
2-3 a.m. So
Oh, yeah, that would be tough as an old person. I don't know that I can.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Rue, birthday boy. Big 4-0.
Everyone, I am Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables here on Twitch, Fellowship OTT on Twitter, where I mostly lurk. And yeah, come hang out on the Discord.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, you all lived.
Yeah.
So that's good for now. Yeah,
This
we'll see what's all about this next week when we pick our story up with your surprise guest there. So I'm Scott on Earth and out here in the internet, so I'm Wily Hobbit. Super stoked to have a fun chat, people having fun and saying silly things and all that. Appreciate that sub, Cubiddy and Feed Me 22508, who seems to know me, but I don't know you. Welcome and thanks for the follow. Yeah, so we play D&D on Wednesdays. As Dave mentioned, we have a little game called Dragon of Icespire Peak, which is interesting because we're not playing that module anymore. We've actually moved on to Stormlord's Wrath, which is the first of a series of shorter 3-module trilogy that is a continuation of Dragon of Icespire Peak. So that runs at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, and as it stands right now, I think we're probably going to be playing. So we're going to get 2 D&Ds this week. With any luck, if everything goes well. So want to thank everybody for hanging out. We're going to do a quick raid over to Lawful Stupid RPG. And when you get there, they give away gift certificates to Kraken Dice. That's like their big sponsor. So get in there and hit ! Giveaway. But you got to be there at the end to win. But, I mean, Kraken Dice stuff is pretty cool. So, once again, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Please be nice to each other. Because, man, that freaking internet is full of cranky people. So be good to each other. And we'll see you, if not Wednesday, then we will see you next Monday. Let me punch the old raid button. They're playing Descent into Avernus. And, man, the DM over there on Lawful Stupid is unreal, and he's like, I think he's got to be a voice actor. Incredible voicing. So go check him out and tell him Wily Hobbit said hey, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
We're out. See you later. Bye.